I'm back. Hello. Oh my goodness. It's been a very, very trying day. I thank goodness the contract that I'm currently working right now, they're like, you can work whenever you need to work just as long as you get the things done. Cause yeah, I've been working on the weekends. I've been busy. Anyways, hi guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming in. I hope everybody is doing well. I said I wasn't going to be doing any lives on Wednesday, possibly, and I lied. Okay. So, anyways, my name is Yolanda. I am Locating Cozy, and this is a broad chat. And thank you guys for joining. I really do appreciate you. As most of you know, this is going to be a really awesome live, just because I got like somebody really cool and a very nice special guest that I think that y'all kind of know, recognize, and will appreciate. Yeah. And yeah, but before I do bring this guest on, I want to make sure that you please do subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Locating Cozy. Make sure that you hit that notification bell. Make sure that you hit the like button and get notified whenever I do decide to go live or upload a video or have something snarky or smart to say. Okay. Okay. So anyways, today's guest, I'm really excited that it's going to be Miss Stephanie Perry.
It's
Hey,
me. Hi, Yolanda.
how you doing?
I'm doing great. I was just posting on Instagram that we're live right now. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure.
So first I want to ask you, where you at?
I'm in Bogota. I'm in Bogota, Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will get deeper into that in a little bit. Wow. So you just somebody else is, I think HND abroad. Did they go to Colombia? I can't remember.
They were in Costa Rica. I know they were in Costa Rica for Christmas for a house sit.
Yeah, but they just landed someplace else, and I'm gonna look in a minute. Yeah, because like literally just like maybe a day or so ago. Yeah.
Oh,
They just landed. So I'm gonna be nosy and check my notes in a minute. But first, okay, guys, thank you for coming. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Make sure that you do say hello.
Yes.
Wave at us, send some love. I'm just so thankful. But as y'all know, before we get started, I like to ask a couple of basic questions, to get the vibe check of the place and see how everybody's doing and what's going on. So I like to know, some people ask me what's going on in my world, but I'm going to start with you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. What's going on in your world right now?
Right now, I am totally overhauling my plans. Breaking news. I'm totally overhauling my move abroad plan and most likely moving to Bogota, Colombia instead of San Jose, Costa Rica. I've already checked out a couple of apartments, scouted out some neighborhoods, total change in plans in 2020.
So I got the scoop. Did I just get the scoop?
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah, totally overhauling plans to make things easier for me. I was going to Costa Rica. San Jose is a place that I like the people and I could deal with the city. And I decided that I wanted something a little more easy. I wanted a city that I actually like to be in and, nice people as well. And, some other things that I want to work on that are, easier in Colombia than they would be in Costa Rica. So yeah, major overhaul of plans, which is at the same time super exciting and also a little bit, scary. But yeah, I think Bogota's it. I think Bogota, Colombia is that girl.
Okay. I like that because we always talk about like people, this is a topic that comes up a lot is, you make your plans and then you go someplace and you're like, okay, well, I guess I got to stay. No, you don't. Okay. You don't just have to tolerate where you are.
That's right. Okay. Pack your bags and go, right? It's easy when you're moving places. It's a lot easier if moving means pack up 4, 5, 6 suitcases than if it means pack up a house, get some shipping containers, a pallet of this and that, right? It's a lot easier when you move lighter. You can move faster and easier and you can adjust and you can you don't even need to actually move anywhere. We live in a time when plenty of people don't really live anywhere. They just live everywhere. So
We
yeah,
know, we know.
we sure do. So it's really nice to have those options, to have that flexibility and not like plant yourself in the ground. As Black women, it's really, we're often told that we need some certain things in order to be taken seriously, right? We need to have these things. And it's really nice to throw those things off, right? Stability, a good job, a home that you own, right? It's really nice. And sometimes a partner, a spouse, it's really nice to get rid of them things and be free. And still and understand that your value is you, my value is me, not in the home that I own or the job that I have or the partner that I'm with or whatever. Yeah, it feels really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I all that you just said resonates very well with me. Okay.
I know. I know. We've been on this journey. We've both been on this journey. Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it. What's going on in my world? Well, I just realized that I've never actually said this on any of my lives, but I mean, I happened when when I happened to run into you on New Year's Day online at the impromptu Zoom meeting, I kind of held up my card, but I'm going to say it now. I'm not holding up my card because I don't have time to blur it out and I don't need y'all seeing my numbers, but I am actually officially a resident. I have my card now that says, I have my ID card, my Spain ID card that says I can work here, I can live here, and I'm good to go for the next 5 years. So yes, I just I was like, I never said this. I didn't say it in the Exodus Summit group. I don't even know if I said it in my own personal Facebook page. I think I took a picture and I was looking kind of stupid. I was like, so I was like, I'm not gonna post that.
Post it. Congratulations. That's super exciting and wonderful. Congratulations.
I'm super. I feel like, I mean, I haven't even been here a year yet, but I feel like I am like all knowing. Now, I know that there's plenty of other Black people that have been here way longer than me in Spain, but just to have that and accomplish that, it feels good. Like, they really let you stay here, girl.
They need to let you stay. You are Zaragoza's best ambassador, girl. I didn't even know about Zaragoza until you went there. Until you the best ambassador.
Well, yes. And speaking on that, let's see. Well, I'm going down here to my little banners to say like, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead before we even start. Let's go into some comments here and say hello to some people.
Hello, people.
Say good afternoon and so happy that you have joined us. So we have, I was like, Stephanie Perry. No, that's you. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is greetings, Yolanda and everyone. I'm sorry. I have, Savannah. Okay, that's a beautiful name. I like that. Savannah? Sabanye. I see the little tilde above the E, so that's why I'm questioning everything. Yes. Yes. And hello, Robin. Hi, hello from Dallas. Hey girl, Texas to Texas. What's up? I'm so glad that you guys are making it in here. If you missed this, it's like if you're watching this later on, I hope that you do get to watch and enjoy the replay. But we're going to be talking about some things. And I actually made it a point. I said I wanted to try to avoid asking the same questions that most people would ask you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I love to talk, so we can cover whatever.
Hello. Scarlett says you're viewing from your hotel room in New Hampshire. Are you getting ready to go on a pet sit, or just because of the snow, are you trapped? What's going on?
No, but bundle up, girl. Bundle up.
I will not complain about any of the cold weather here in Zaragoza after seeing what's going on in Texas and all over right now. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, girl. I'll put my heavy coat on. Oh, Sabani. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sabani.
Thank you. That's good. That's helpful.
Yes. Thank you. And then we have also, let's see here, Starlet says I work night. So I need to go to bed, but it's great to see y'all. Thank you. Appreciate you. So one of the other questions that I do like to ask is, y'all know, okay, how are you locating your cozy? What are you doing to take care of yourself, putting yourself first, just an all about me moment, and Yeah, it can be something big or small. It could be like the littlest things. But Stephanie, what have you done too? How are you locating your cozy lately?
I'm making sure that I spend time in the real world with people I love. It's really easy for me to be off on my own, um, and then not feel great, right? Be off on my own, have no community, no feel like I'm having no, connection with people. And
Yeah,
then just it's like a spiral, it just pulls me under. And so I'm making sure that I spend time with people. That is a thing that I do for me. It's a thing I do for the relationship or for the friendship too, but I do it for me to make sure I'm good. And so I like put it on the calendar. Rashida was just here. She just left. And my business partner, Rashida, just left. And we put some other dates on our calendar to be in the same place together. In this online time, you can form real friendships and real relationships with people on the internet.
yeah,
But we are feeling more lonely and more isolated than ever. And I know that that is a thing that pulls me down. And so I'm making sure that I spend time in real life, real world time with people that I love. And it's been helpful. It made 2024 an amazing year. Girl, I didn't hit any of my goals. I didn't do any of any of my projects. But man, 2024 was amazing. And it's because on purpose, I spent a whole lot of time with people I love, and in community, connecting. And so that's what I'm doing. What are you doing?
what am I doing? Well, okay. So again, this is just my joy. This may sound silly. I finally got me two new dues from from my hair source.
Two new what?
I got me two new wigs. Yeah.
Oh,
And
good.
the reason why people are like, really? Yes, really. Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason why is because I hadn't bought any, like, in one of my suitcases when I moved here was a suitcase full of hair. Okay. It was like, I may not have brought all my shoes, but I brought a whole suitcase of all my hairdos. Okay. So, and I usually do like a quote big investment once a year, but I was concerned because I didn't know what that process would look like having it shipped here to Spain. It was
Mhm.
so much faster. It got here in like 3 days, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm about this. Okay,
Good.
I'm gonna order some more right away," but I'm not. Okay, and because I was just putting it off, and I was like, "That's not important right now. You have what you need," and I was like, "You know what? It's the new year. It's time." It's time. Yeah. So yes, I got me some new hairdos, and so I'll be sporting those eventually. You know how we switch it up.
Yeah, switch it
Yeah.
up. Good. That's a relief, though. That's a relief to know that's like some stuff that maybe you can't get it where you are, but you can get it
Mhm.
sent to you where you are. And that kind of
Yeah.
takes some pressure off or it makes you feel better when you're settling into a new place to know that you can have some of the familiar stuff.
Yes.
So
And it was great just because in Zaragoza, it's so kind of challenging, like to find, well, beauty supply places. They don't have them like that.
no,
Again, they have them in some places, but not in Zaragoza. So just to be able to go online and order, I guess that's why I was kind of like concerned about whether or not I'd be able to easily access, you know,
right. That's right.
access to it. But yeah, I got it and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I didn't one of them, the color was a little bit too dark. So I'm like, okay, well, you need to like order some developers so you can go ahead and get this fixed. But yeah,
Oh, you gonna color it yourself? You can do that?
yeah, it's just the light thing. Yeah, yeah. It's
Oh,
very like I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea
you,
what I'm doing, but
you
I've
sound
done it
like
before.
you
And if I mess it up, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna make it look good on me.
do. This is how I meant for it to look.
So Stephanie, uh,
Yes.
tell me. Oh, wrong. Tell us about you. Who are you? Give us your elevator pitch. Tell us a little bit about Stephanie Perry.
I'm from exotic Dover, Delaware. I'm a person who has, in my 40s, I'm now 50, but in my 40s, I discovered that I was not taking agency over my life. I was not holding the reins in my life. I was just kind of going along to get along, coasting to see, what happens, and waiting for like retirement age to start living my life. And in my
Mhm.
40s, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. and I took over and created a whole life that I love instead of a life that I just was like waiting to get through. I was just waiting to get through midlife, to get to my 60s when I thought I had permission to live. I passed the 20s and 30s, and I was in the 40s, and I was, well, even in my 30s, I started feeling like, well, everything's passed me by, or I've missed out on every opportunity. And so now all I can do is wait for 65. And then I decided I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to do it. And I quit my job at 41 to travel for a year. That ended with me still traveling. I'm still traveling. I was 41 when I quit my job. I'm 50 now. I've not stopped. I've not stopped traveling. I've not gone back to Delaware to live. I've not gone back to a traditional job to live. And that's because I just, step by step, one step at a time, decided that I wanted to live my life and not put off all the good years, well, while I can still mostly bend my knees, right? While I can still mostly, do things. I didn't want to put that off and focus on work only and hope that I could make it to 65 or 70 and then try to have a good time. So I'm just like a new person in a middle-aged body.
And it feels amazing. It feels freeing.
Yes.
As I've said before, when I've talked about how I came about my journey, was that I knew I wanted something different. I just didn't know what it looked like and how to implement it.
Yes.
And I didn't know, something that I had thought of years, before, maybe, I don't know, it's probably like, I want to say it was maybe 5 years before when I first started hearing about people working remote. And the narrative that was kind of put in most people's mind was that, oh, those are tech people
Right.
that get to do that. IT,
Oh,
tech, whatever stuff, whatever it is. Those are the only people that get to work remote. And so when I left my last full-time job, when I left my last, I'm saying that wrong. When I went to my last full-time job,
okay. I'm with
in
you.
2018, I found out that eventually I was like, okay, I can actually work remote at this job because I was the only accounting person in the Houston area. And I was like, why am I in here? So all that changed. And I didn't know that it was that whatever it was God was setting up or putting in place was like, you have this idea. I'm going to start to peel back some layers so you can see what the option is.
Good.
And before, I didn't know, and I knew that there was something happening, but until I actually found this community, the Exodus Summit community, that's when all the big aha moments were happening. I was like, oh, what? There's Black women already doing this? And I can just copy them to, on my own journey, but there's a whole lot of copy and paste going on here. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, you don't have to figure everything out on your own. Whatever your thing is, somebody's already figured it out. You get some input from her and then make your own plan, make your own recipe. But you don't have to start your recipe from zero ingredients, right? You start with the ingredients you have, and somebody else has already made that into something amazing. Yeah.
Yes. They put some seasoning in there and they were like, girl.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
So even what's so funny was even with my, with my daughter, my youngest daughter moving to Spain in 2016, that still was not my aha, like, oh, you can do this too. Yeah. It wasn't like my full awareness moment. Yeah.
No, yeah, it takes time because it's such an unconventional thing. It's so unconventional that it does take some time and some like counter messaging before we start to see it as a reality for ourselves. I think that's pretty normal.
So I wanted to ask you, because we're leading up to it, but because the conversation is about how Black expats are seeking and building global communities, because we need that support. Please, whatever you do, don't try to just do this alone and be like, I don't need anybody. I can just figure it out. If you're talking about moving to any country or any other part of the world where it's not your home base, find that support. It comes in. I think it's essential.
I agree. I agree. We're so used to, as American people, as Black people, we're used to doing things on our own and not asking for support, not asking for help. Asking for help is seen as so wrong. Is seen as negative. And then you go to these other communities, these other countries where they operate together, they operate in community. And if you go there trying to do everything on your own and not asking for help, you are going to sink. You're going to hate that place. It's not going to work out for you, right? Because that's not how it's meant to function. It's not meant to function. Just now, I moved from, where was I? Oh no, I was just in the grocery store. I moved from my Airbnb to a hotel for a few days before I go back to a different Airbnb. And the woman in the grocery store, I was walking out of the wrong door. And I looked confused and I was looking around, and I'm in Bogota, Colombia. And a woman, an older woman said to me, "I speak English. I can help you." Right?
Oh.
All I was looking for was the correct exit. I was going out the indoor. And she was like, she stopped. "I speak English. I can help you." You have to open up to community, and you have to open up to help, and you have to open up to not doing things on your own. Because listen, doing things on your own is probably the reason you want to leave the United States. There's probably a whole lot more mixed in there, right? The financial piece, the healthcare piece, right? But all of it comes down to, in the United States, we are tricked into doing things alone that in other countries they do in community or in conjunction with other people. They have a healthcare team, right? They have a childcare team. They have a home care team. They have the family as a family unit. They might even live in the same building. And then we've been tricked into doing things on our own. And, you know, it makes you hate it. It makes you hate it here.
Yes. And what's crazy, because I think about it, the fact is, whether it's the US government or the companies itself, they don't want you. They want you to use the resources that they offer you and not find any other resources. They're like, no, 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 because you're supposed to be beholden to them.
That's right.
Completely.
That's right.
And so for you to think outside the box and be like, you know what, I don't think this is actually a good, healthy environment for me. It's like, how dare you think like that? You should be also just thankful that you have this job and that we offer you, you know, medical insurance. It's like,
that's right. That's a lot of systems are really set up for us to stay. Listen, this country, the United States, was built on the foundation of slavery, and a lot of systems in the United States still operate that way. And it's to the detriment not only of Black people and Black people who are the descendants of slaves, but it's also to the detriment of the white people who live there, everybody who lives there. Having a country where you don't get access to healthcare if you don't have a job, and even a specific type of job, it's strange to other parts of the world. It's strange to other people, but it's set up exactly for that reason, to pull some loyalty out of you that is not going to be reciprocated, right? But to make you feel loyal, beholden to, stuck in that place. It's all intentional. It's all on purpose.
Very much, very much. I have to go back and just tell you, because you were talking about how the lady in the store helped you. I have to tell you, today I went to the store. I just went to go get some bread. And there was, you know, just a cashier that was there. And all of a sudden I hear from the person that's doing, guess whatever, the Zamboni, whatever it is, like to mop the floor or whatever, that machine. Anyways, I just hear, hello. I'm like, it's like, what is that? The toddler ladies, like Miss Rachel, whatever. Hello. It was just so clear English. And I was like, they have to be talking to me. And I turned around and there's a cashier there that's learning English. And so whenever I come in, she, you know, I practice my Spanish with her and she talks to me in English, and, you know, all the customers are looking like, why is this lady talking English? Anyways, she saw me, she says, hello. She, and I said, Feliz Años Nueva. And she says, no, 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 Feliz Año. And she's telling me how to say it. And then as I'm getting ready to go, she's like, come give me and she gives me a hug. Like, just comes over and gives me a hug. And I was like, this place. Okay.
Yeah.
It was just so.
I love that feeling too, right? I love that feeling when you're in a place and you're like, oh, they include me in this place. Yeah. I'm not just here and always the outsider, always a different person. I belong here, right? They've decided that we are going to be in community together. It's really, it's such a good feeling, because we're so convinced that, again, back to the way the US operates, we're so convinced that that's not how people will treat us around the world.
Yeah,
But it is how people treat us around the world.
very different. Trust
Yeah,
us. We know from what we're talking about.
we do.
Okay.
We do.
We know. It's and the thing is, it took some time, like different communities that I belong to here, like what is that? Oh God, I forgot. Blah blah, the blah blah language exchange.
Oh,
They were not as friendly until they realized I was living here. They
oh,
and actually my daughter explained that to me also. She was like, "Yeah, it gets kind of hard. It's like being auxiliary. It was kind of hard to like connect with someone that we knew was leaving in a year." Like
oh, okay.
definitely
That
moving
makes
in a
sense.
year. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so, and that was the same, I guess that was how they felt at the language exchange. They're like, you know, don't get me wrong, they weren't mean to me. They weren't like, you know, holding up fingers like get out. But it's like once they realized that I live here, they were like, oh, okay. And that's when they invited me into the WhatsApp group. Like I had their Facebook group access, but so that was different. Yes.
Yeah,
They were
they're
like,
like,
okay,
okay, she's
okay, you're
past
welcome.
the next level. She's come. She's on the next level. She's not just a visitor.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Exactly.
that's good.
So I wanted to just ask,
Yeah.
like, in your when you're not really focused on just your everyday small moments in your day-to-day life, what are like maybe some little things that you might do that just kind of bring you joy? Whether you're house sitting or whatever, but just in the regular everyday, what are something that you're just like, you know what? Whether it's get up and have tea or whatever it is, tell us.
So Starlet told us that she's going to work because she's going to sleep because she works nights. I worked nights for 5 or 6 years. I work night
Mhm.
shift. And it meant that as soon as I woke up, it's time to get ready for work. And so now one of the things I love about my life, and one of the things that just makes me so happy, is having really slow mornings. I'm kind of an early bird. So once the sun comes up, I'm up, but I have nothing to do for hours. I spend hours just piddling around. I really like coffee with vanilla extract, right? Make
Mhm.
myself a cup of coffee with some vanilla, chill, keep my pajamas on for hours and hours in the day. It's really nice to have a slow start to the day and not immediately have to start doing. It's been quite a while. Well, there are times, there are times when my life is a little busier. But right now,
Yeah.
I'm in a time in my life where I don't have a whole lot to do in a day. And so I don't have to get up and immediately start thinking about doing. I get to just be and enjoy and look out the window. I just moved to a hotel like literally, 32 minutes ago. But I was in an Airbnb with huge windows, and some of the windows face the mountains and some on the other side face the downtown. And man, I spent hours just looking out the windows. It's
Wow.
really, and just like being there and not.
Soaking it up, just really just appreciating, just soaking it up. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Slow mornings, I think, are a luxury. Slow mornings. I think we talk about on the YouTube spaces as YouTubers, as we are. YouTubers talk a lot about soft life, but a lot of the things that women do to get a soft life is hard. Working at a job where they mistreat you and working hours and hours a day. Some of
Mhm.
that is not conducive to a soft life. But I'm convinced that really slow starts to your day, and being able to have hours in your day that aren't accounted for by anybody, nobody has a say in what you
Yeah.
do in those hours. I love that. I love that about my day, and so I keep that. I keep it.
And so it's well, because it's like, you know, I'm 7 hours ahead of the US time, but I still wake up now. I will say this. I wake up at the crack of dawn. But the thing is, every apartment here in Zaragoza, basically in Spain, and I think just in certain parts of Europe, they have those blackout blinds.
Hmm.
I have found myself like, because it's like you can't tell if it's day or night with
Yeah.
those blackout blinds, and I'm not used to that. So because back in Texas, I never liked the blinds. Well, I didn't like those kind of like blackout shades or blackout drapes because
Mhm.
I need to see the sunlight so I know to get up.
Okay.
Okay. So now lately, what I've been doing is I actually don't close the blinds all the way. I just have it just enough where a little bit of light can peek through when the sun comes up. Because yeah, I've stayed in bed like a couple of times till 10 o'clock in the morning, and I feel like my day has been wasted. it's weird.
It's
Because
okay
that's
to
my
wait.
time to piddle and do whatever I need to do locally here before I start working like that afternoon.
Right, right. Yeah, it's sometimes so yeah, sometimes what we want or need is to waste the day, right? And to not have something driving us all day, every day.
Yeah.
Let it slip on through. Because and plus also sleep is never a waste. I don't think. I don't think it's ever a waste. Our bodies and our brains do a lot for us while we're sleeping. We have to sleep. And sometimes we need extra sleep, right? Our muscles are building each other. I don't really know. Muscles build something while you're sleeping. Your brain is storing things and cataloging things and remembering things, and right. And so sleep is a very active process for a human. So it's never a waste. It's not wasted.
It took me, after I left that last full-time horrible toxic job back in October 2022, 3 days after attending the Exodus Summit.
Yes. We do
Just
that.
FYI, didn't know I was going to do that. But I think it probably took me, I think it was probably a good 6 months before I could really sleep without having any anxiety or the tension weigh me down.
Okay.
Because of like the fear of the unknown. I knew I was going to be okay, but it still took me time to really sleep comfortably. Because I still felt like, I had to not just get up, I had to get up and do stuff. And, my daughter's like, sit still, be still. Yeah.
Yeah, that's driving you to stress and an early grave and all of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
learning how to sit still and be still. It can be hard for some people, right? Because there's a lot of years of messaging that says you're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And generations on generations of you cannot sit still. You cannot just sit. You cannot just be. You have to be doing. So yeah, I think it's really important work to unlearn that, but it's not easy. It's not easy. It doesn't just, some people don't just slip into that. Some people, it takes some time and some effort to slip into it.
Yeah. And I know not everybody can do this. And I thank God that I was able to do this, was to actually not work for a while. I thought I just did work for a couple of months. I didn't work for 8 months after I left that job. I was okay, but yeah, I didn't work for 8 months. And if you're like, I don't want to do this rat race anymore, if you can take that time, do a sabbatical. Literally take some time for you to regroup and get your mind right, because there's a healing process that you didn't even know needed to happen.
That's right.
And yes.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Like there's a person, you're a whole person, and you haven't even met her yet, right? You've met the worker Yolanda, right? Or the worker Stephanie. You met the student Stephanie, and maybe the mom Stephanie, or the mom Yolanda, the grandmom Yolanda, but you haven't met the you deep down in there. When you take a whole lot of time where you don't have a job, a whole lot of time where you don't have to do for other people, it's wonderful to get to know yourself. It's really wonderful to meet yourself and meet like the version of you who like has dreams and not just has responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll be better for it. It's like, you don't have to believe me. I'm telling you, though, you'll be better for it. Okay. There's a whole group of 22,000 women that are learning through Exodus Summit that know you will be better for it, for taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. Mm-hmm. So Exodus Summit is the original community that I was able to find. Again, I literally, when I wanted to do my research and try to figure it out, I literally went on YouTube and just put in, because again, I thought I might be going to Mexico. I put in single Black woman, expat Mexico. And that's when everything changed. And you came up on my YouTube feed, and Rashida and Adelia. And I just got drunk with all this knowledge. I was like, ooh, you want to talk about binge watching. Okay.
That's all in the plan. All in the plan.
And the thing is, I know my personality. Once I start drinking the Kool-Aid, not a cult, but once I start drinking the Kool-Aid, I'm like sharing. I'm like, you won't believe what I found out. And and I get excited about everything anyways. That's just my personality. It's like, oh, the sky is so blue today. That is my personality. Yeah. Gets on people's nerves sometimes. So I know that when I really started saying, this can work. I can do this. I didn't tell everybody, but I did talk to actually, I guess I did. Okay. When I think about it, I guess I did.
Yeah, some people hear,
Yeah.
some people want to hear, some people don't want to hear, but you're gonna tell
Yeah.
everybody.
For the most part, everybody was very supportive. I was just like, and because I said, I don't know, but I'm gonna figure this out.
That's right.
So
That's right.
how do you think connecting with other like-minded people is just the most important thing for Black women to thrive in their new journeys?
Thrive is the right word. For a couple of different reasons is really important. First, it's really important because, like I said, we're told that we're supposed to do so much on our own that we actually believe it, and it just is wrong. It's not how humans are made. We're animals, and human animals are made to do things in community with other people, and so it's just wrong. And so being in community with other people will help you get used to it, will help you ease into it, will help you see what how things could be, how amazing things could be if you weren't doing everything alone. And then the other reason is that there's so much messaging out there. There's so many, and like I said, generation after generation after generation of messaging about one particular way that we're supposed to live. If you want to live in a different way, and I think moving abroad is a different way. I think taking a career break, just taking a break and saying, I'm here some months, maybe some years, that I'm not going to have a job. That is a different way. And if you want to do things a different way, you have to have people who are a few steps ahead of you to help pull you along, or because the habits and the way that we're used to doing things will always pull us back to the old way. Those habits and that messaging and the generations of training and teaching will always pull you back to, well, I've got to do things this way. And anytime you want to do it a different way, you need people. You need people who are a few steps ahead, or many, many steps ahead, or a few steps behind to help march you along, right? Think of ants. I just watched a video the other day about some ants. Some scientists were doing a test, and they had a weird shaped object, and they wanted these ants to be able to fit this weird shaped object through the hole. And don't you know, them ants tried it together 5 or 6 different times, turned the object around, tried it, and they got it through the hole. An object that I don't know if I would have been able to figure out how to get through the hole.
Me out. No, that's okay.
I don't know. It doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, right? But we're made to operate like that, right? To operate together. And so once you start doing it, it's contagious. So but once you get in community with other people, you start to see how wrong, right, that we have been. We've been so wrong about these things. Once you go someplace and you see families living together, generations of families living together, you're like, oh, well, why was I killing myself to pay them that bill, to pay that mortgage and that rent? When over here, they just, everybody puts in together. Friends.
Yes, it's teamwork. And they make it work. And yes, it's not, that thing is, when they do it, they're not just tolerating it. Okay.
No, that's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how they thrive. That's how people thrive. We thrive in connection with each other.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So you have that, and then we have all the breakout with Exodus Summit. You have the main Facebook community, but then we started the breakout communities, and oh my gosh, that community has grown by leaps and bounds. And I will say that I have actually personally implemented a community just for the Texas women, the women of Texas that have the same goals, that have the same dreams, and that seek that support that otherwise they may not have received. Right. Exodus Sisters, what's up?
Exodus Sisters. Okay. That's right. That's right. So the Exodus Summit community, 22,000 women, but they're all over the place, right? In all different places. So thankfully, people have raised women inside of the community have raised their hand and said, hey, let's get together in this group. Hey, Texas, let's get together. Hey, New York City. Hey, Philly. Hey, Minnesota. Let's get together, because like I was saying earlier, the in-person support is really healing. It really does something to us. And so it's really nice to be able to get together with some people when you want to do something that other people are telling you is wrong or crazy, or you're going to ruin your whole life by quitting your job for a little while, right? You really need that in-person support. So I'm so grateful for you, Yolanda. I got to hang out with the Exodus squad in, I want to say October. It was pretty recently.
Yeah, that was up in Dallas, wasn't it?
In Dallas. They're awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
you got a nice group of women together. Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
I took I'm a whole other country away and stuff. And I was like, I did that. I wasn't there.
You did, right? Yeah, we're naturally people who create community, right? We naturally create places for people to be in community with each other. You happen to create a community that was helpful for women like you, right? For you and women like you. It's amazing. Yeah. I think it was October. It was really amazing to get together with them. It was the picture. Oh, I don't know how many women were there. 30 women?
Well, I remember the first time when you first came and you came for the Beyonce concert.
In Houston, first time in Houston, yeah.
Yeah. So this is what happened. I was trying to find pictures of you and I together because we met up a couple of times, but either like the one where in downtown Houston, that one it was cute, but it was just a little blurry, and then the one that we took when we met up in Lisbon, those were cute. But there's one picture I'm going to send it to you because you were in the background. I was taking a picture and I was like. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And I was like, no, girl, that's ugly. That's just flat out. I was being funny, but yeah.
I'm sure it was cute. I'm sure it was super cute.
I stole pictures of themselves. But yeah, but literally I had to go back because I couldn't remember when I'm going in my Google Photos. I was trying to see, I was like, where is that picture at? Where is this event at? So then I went on Google search and I was like, when was the Beyonce concert in Houston, Texas a couple of years ago? And I was like, there, okay. And then I went to my Google, my photos and I found it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that picture. I don't know if I have it, but I remember inside the restaurant that, yeah. Yeah, that was a year ago. So that was October 2023. And then I didn't realize that I was back in Texas, October 2024. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm making an annual thing.
There you go. There you go. Let me see. It says, I'm just going to bring up a couple of things. It says, hey, two of my favorites. Hey, girl. One of my favorite cult leaders and a fellow member.
Absolutely not a cult. Thank you. Hi, Tara.
Oh my gosh, that is so hilarious. I make jokes about that sometimes just because people are like, Black women coming together and being positive and dreaming big. It's a cult. Shut up. Okay.
Evidence that it's not a cult, girl. Ain't nobody trying to work that hard. Cult leaders, they work hard.
I'm trying to keep our money. We're not trying to give it away.
Ain't nobody. Okay? That's exactly right.
It's all about teaching us how to, the Exodus Summit every single year that I think this is my third year because my first time was 2022 and every single year. And, because I was like, well, you've already moved to Spain. What's the point? There's a point. Okay. Again, there's that community of women that want to learn. So one of the big things that I said for this year, even though I still got some valuable information, was that to share. I wanted to stay and take notes because I wanted to be able to share and impart whatever wisdom and knowledge on to the next group of the freshman class that was coming in and that was looking for support and wanted to make some changes in their lives. So that's why I think I will always attend, just because I want to make sure that I'm sharing the most up-to-date information or pointing the Black women to the correct resources that we have available in our community.
Good. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we're always so grateful when like alumni come back to the summit, right? People who've already taken in the information, have already executed it in their lives, have already gotten to the place that they were trying to get to. It's amazing to have y'all come back, because it's like, it helps somebody else see, oh, this is real. This is something I can do. She's a regular person, right? She's an everyday person. And she was able to do this thing that seems so impossible. Like literally, for some of us, it seems impossible until we start taking the steps. So it's amazing to have y'all come back. And then it's like a family reunion. It's so amazing to see everybody again. The summit happens in October. And it's so nice to see, it's an event. It's a thing that we look forward to every year. I love it.
Very much so. It's a game changer. Oh, what just happened here? Okay, we're back.
I'm back. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, oh no. Okay. So the thing is, it is important, and there's global community. So there's Exodus Summit, which is very much focused on supporting and cheering on Black women that want to, along the diaspora, Black women, that want to make the positive change in their life that puts them first and makes them happy and helps them to get the heck out of, hopefully, United States or wherever it is, the toxic environment that they are in. Okay, wherever that is, but there's also so many other growing communities out there that, there's not, we're going to make it happen. Like there has not been, well, initially I didn't see like a group, so to speak, in Spain. So right. I was like, how do I make this happen? Now there are Black women in Spain. And a lot of women like in Valencia have created a Black women's group that supports them. I'm going to copy and paste that information in. I actually pulled up all the resources. I actually posted it in Exodus Summit today in 2 different sections.
Good. Okay.
Yes, I did that today. But I'm speaking just on Spain, but everywhere. So Exodus Summit is a great source, and that's where I start at. But expanding that, finding community. There's brothers and sisters of Name Your Place.
That's right.
There is what is that for women in general? There is Girl Gone International. That's like, yeah, see, sharing some knowledge. Yeah, Girl Gone International. It's like they have chapters all over the world. It's very much focused on, well, it's just women, but that's a resource for wherever you might be going. Check to see if there's a chapter. What is another one? Anything Black in.
So Black in, right? There'll be a Black in Portugal, Black expat in,
Black expat in Spain. So just whenever you're looking and you're trying to find support, you're trying to, about wherever you might be interested in going to or moving to or country shopping on, check out, do your research and check out to see what is Black in, okay? Whatever the city or country that you want to go to.
That's right.
And so with that, I'm actually going to let y'all know that, where is it at? Oh, here it is. Yes. So with that, because I want, we always want to give community. So there is an Afro Girls in Valencia. That's a Facebook group. There's Melanin Madrid. Amazing.
Okay.
Trineca. I'm sorry. Is it Trinica? Trineca? I think it's Trinica. I might be saying it wrong. Girl, I'm sorry. And actually, I'm interviewing her in a few weeks. But, that's been a great source. And actually, Trineca is actually from Houston, and she's supposed to be moving back here, hopefully in the next few months.
Okay, so, moving back.
I have a better shoot by the end of the month. Yeah. But let's see, what else are there? There's Barcelona Black women. And there's Bliss, Black Ladies in Seville Society.
Oh.
Yes.
That's cute.
So I'm going to put that in the description, but I'm also going to drop a couple of these here. But also, I just wanted to let y'all know that I have officially started Black in Zaragoza. Hey.
Yes.
Black in Zaragoza is officially live. Okay.
Zaragoza's best ambassador.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So tell us who would like to be. Who would like life in Zaragoza? What kind of person likes life in Zaragoza?
She's interviewing me. She can't help it. She can't help herself. I have, it's a range. It's for families. It's a college, and there's 2 universities here. The Black population and community is growing here. It's so funny because right now, like I have a tenant here who moved here from North Carolina, and she wasn't going to stay. Now she is going to stay, which I'm really excited. So, but she's gone out, and actually she will be a moderator in the Black in Zaragoza group because she has so much more information about different processes. She actually was able to, what she's working on, she was going to be leaving because she didn't have a visa,
Right.
and it wasn't working out. And so she was getting ready to work for this school. And then the school said, you know what? We'll go ahead and set you up and sponsor you so you can get your work visa here. I mean, it was definitely, when I tell you, it was one day, they were like, no, that's okay, you know. And so she's like, well, I'm getting ready to leave in a week. And I was like, well, okay, you know, it was good to see you again. And then like 24 hours later, she was like, so I'm staying.
Okay. Yeah. Look how things work out.
Yes, and I said that was nothing but God, because I'm like, just the fact that she, you know, she was resigned, she had resolved, you know, she was resigned to the fact that she would be coming back maybe in 6 months, but she's like, I have to leave now. And then 24 hours later, it's like, they want me to stay, so we're gonna figure this out, and they're gonna work with me. So it's great. There is a great, the food, the culture, the nightlife, which I, you know, now that I'm in the inn with like blah, blah language exchange, they want to be going out at midnight. I'm not doing that. But okay.
In Spain, listen, they leave the house late. They get started late.
That's the only downside, because I hate eating so late at night. I really do, Stephanie. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Is
my
Zaragoza
goodness.
a city, or is it a big city? Is it a smaller place? I don't know a whole lot about it.
So Zaragoza is still the 5th largest city in Spain. I had been quoting the population at 500,000, but it's actually 768,000.
Okay.
In Zaragoza. So it's grown by leaps and bounds. And yeah, this good economy. I've noticed there's a lot of, well, this is what I've learned also from my tenant, is that the black population is growing also because of, there's a lot of Senegalese community here.
Yeah.
Yes. So before y'all ask, I don't know about the dating. I went on 1 date since I've been here. Okay. So
Okay.
and it was nice. It was nice, but yeah, he didn't speak any English. He only spoke French and Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know, the thing was, okay, so, and if y'all know me, y'all know I jump all over the place. So this is it's just me. But the thing was, I was so proud of the fact that we didn't have to use Google Translate as much as I thought we would.
Good.
So that I was just impressed. It's like, and I know my friends were like, are you going to go out with them again? I was like, I don't know, probably not. But I went on a date with somebody that didn't speak English. I was proud of myself.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big step. That's good. Yeah.
It's not just like, Doris, was that Dara? Oh, hey, girl. Okay. Hey, that's Dara, right?
Yeah. I think so. You know, I can't, you know, my eyes, but I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's community that we can become part of, not just the Black communities, right? I'm serious about my Spanish, so I can connect with Mexican artist communities in here in Mexico City. Yeah, hey, Dara. Okay. Yes, and it's true. So of course, I am sharing right now with on here, like the Black communities here in Spain, and of course they're all over the world. But also, I belong to several other communities. Yeah, so I belong to anything Zaragoza when they're like, so I know what's going on. If I feel like going to an event, I'm going to get the heads up because I'm in that community. Do I have to do some Google Translate sometime, or just like highlight and then translate that section? Absolutely, that's fine. So yes, please don't, open yourself up if you want to feel comfortable in a different community, to open yourself up to experiencing everything, not just within your own diaspora, your own community.
That's
that makes
right.
sense?
Yeah, and so like we talked about us being in like a loneliness epidemic in the country, in the United States. In other places, you might just have time to have hobbies. You might just have time to do fun things. And when you do fun things, the other people who like to do those fun things are there too. And that's how you form friendships and community. by going out, right? So Dara's an artist. She goes to art things. She meets other people. That's fun, right? Making friends. There's like running. I think we passed a running group here the other day, and there was some bicycling happening around here, right? You do the things that you want to do, the things that you wish on your list. Like, if I had the time, when you leave the country, you might have the time to do those things. And you might have the ability to make friends and connection with people who also like to do those things. It's like a cheat code that's not really a cheat code, but it kind of is, because we don't do it in the United States. We don't do that.
So what's something that you've done like in your travels that you didn't even plan on doing? It's just something random fun that because you found the community or just were with them, you were like, okay, I'll try that.
So when I was traveling when I was traveling a little bit faster, I used to go on like food walking tours. I'm a big fan of food walking tours. Explain the food to me so I know what to eat right while I'm here, so I don't have to be eating KFC all the time, because I will eat KFC and McDonald's if it comes down to it. So I go on a food walking tour so I can meet people. I used to stay in hostels, even though I didn't start traveling like this until I was 41. Up until the COVID, I stayed in hostels so that I could meet people. In hostels, people are just like, at breakfast, people be like, hey, we're going to this temple, you want to come? Hey, we're going here for dinner, you want to come? We're going to this market, you want to come? So staying in hostels has been a fun way to meet people. Now that I'm traveling much slower, I'm more guilty of like, oh, I can do this later, and then I never do it, right? So I might find something interesting, like they have a group here for whatever. And then I'll be like, well, I can meet up with them later, because I'm going to be here for 3 months or 6 months. And the next thing you know, I haven't done it.
Yeah.
I fall into that trap more now than I used to. When I was moving a little bit faster, I was more diligent about doing things, doing things in places and meeting people and making friends. But I go to conferences. So now I kind of, even though I don't have a traditional job, I run a business or two. And so I do go to conferences and stuff. And that's also a nice way to meet people, to make friends with people who will get this part about you. Sometimes you have friends who don't get a certain part of you. They just don't get it. They can't, you can't talk about it. You can't have conversations about it. When you run a business, there are people who just don't get it. And so it's nice to make friends in that space. So I've been to some conferences over the last 2 or 3 years. I've been more intentional about going to conferences to meet people. I go to conferences to meet people. Listen, I may or may not go to the regular sessions. I may or may not learn a whole lot, but I'm gonna make a friend. I'm gonna come home with a friend.
Okay. Because sometimes like I don't leave my apartment, for a couple of days, and my tenant will be going in and out. And I'm like, man, she's so busy. And I'm like, girl, it's okay to sit still, because when I'm hitting the streets, I just came back from Lisbon. When I'm out, I'm out. Okay. So when you're living, now my situation is now different because I'm living here now. Like when I was actually traveling for a year and a half doing pet sits, which was amazing. I was doing more. I think I was doing a little bit more, but I think after a year and a half, I'm a little settled. But again, I look forward to, I guess you call it like the peaks and valleys. It's like, this is, sometimes I'm just like, I'm fine. Mm-hmm. But she was saying that she has yet to enjoy Madrid. I was like, okay. Right.
So I think you're like an hour and a half by train or something like that.
Hour and 15 minutes by train. So I already told her, I was like, okay, because I don't do this with everybody, but I was like, me and my tenant, we vibe, and she cool. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a pet sit as long as you're cool with being around pets. I said I'm gonna pet sit maybe in February so that we can just have accommodations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, oh, okay. I was like, girl, I gotta show you around Madrid.
Yeah. So Yolanda, I haven't been to Madrid either. I've been to Barcelona and Mallorca, but I've never been to Madrid either. But it looks like a great city.
You'll see the difference when you come eventually.
Okay.
I'm speaking that into existence. I'm speaking that into existence.
All right, I hear you.
We'll make it happen. I really do feel bad. It's like, because I really wanted to go to where y'all going, to Vietnam?
Oh, Vietnam in February. Yeah.
I really wanted to go, but it's like it just wasn't. But it just wasn't working for me. But
we'll be in Europe. We'll be not far from you in October.
Okay.
Yeah. It won't
Hey.
be. There'll be something around somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just say I heard you and there's evidence. We got evidence. Y'all heard her, right? Okay.
I mean it. We'll keep you posted. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out exactly where and exactly when. But I think October will be somewhere in Europe. I know that's the big.
What is some of the I guess most, I'll say, impactful responses that you've received from some of the Black women in the communities that you've created or that you've joined?
Yeah. So it's like all of they're all impactful in their way, right? Making a small change in your life or having a small change in your life come from being in the Exodus Summit community or being a subscriber to like your YouTube channel, right? Somebody making a small change in their life really ripples out significantly. So it's all impactful. But I'll tell you a couple. So I got to meet up in Delaware with a woman who was house sitting, Trish, who had stage 4 cancer and who was traveling the world with her son and grandson, house sitting with them, who wouldn't know about it except that, I talked about house sitting on my YouTube channel and she did it. And it's amazing that she's living this part of her life, this stage of her life out with her, taking a lot of time together with her son and her grandson. They've been to Australia house sitting together, right? When I met them, they were house sitting in Delaware. They're from the Midwest somewhere. House sitting in either Delaware or Philly. Right, but getting to see the world together because I and the Exodus Summit community were like, oh yeah, house sitting, you should do it, right? There are women who have been able to leave jobs that were going to kill them. Black women's jobs kill us, right? The stress, the environment, the treatment, the work, the poor health care, the poor health outcomes, right? Our jobs kill us. And so there are so many Black women who have been able to just leave that behind. Whether it's they now know, like Adelia's here, picking on Travis Girl. Adelia has taught so many women in our community how to look at the numbers and how to make the decision to say, I'm done working, right? Even when the society says, you can't be done working. Look how young you look. Not possible, right? For many women in our community.
How dare you? What are you talking about? Yeah.
Exactly. How dare you is exactly right, Yolanda, right? But so many women in our community have been able to look at their numbers because Adelia comes in and teaches them things, have been able to look at their numbers and be like, oh, actually, okay, I don't work anymore. Thanks for that. That's life changing and that's family changing, right? And there are other women in the community who in Exodus Summits have learned how to get a remote job, which means they can live anywhere in the world, wherever they feel like it. Women inside of Exodus Summit, right? Who have learned, who have been able to take, like I started out with, take agency over their lives and not just be, galloping along, but like holding the reins of their life and directing the horse to where they're going in life. It ripples out so significantly that every single win, every woman, every member is impactful inside of the community and in the world. It's impactful. Just one person, like your granddaughter, Yolanda, your daughter and child seeing you say, I'm taking the reins, right? I'm taking the reins. That will ripple out further than right? Farther than you'll ever be able to see. And so it's all impactful, but it's success and after success. It's win after win for Black women because the community is amazing because we're so sharing. The community is just like you, right? There are women, Yolanda, you love being a subscriber to Yolanda's channel because she's so sharing and she's so giving and she's a talker and she'll let you know, right? So that is Exodus Summit. The women inside of Exodus Summit are like that for other women. And so the impact is tremendous. Just being able to not be in the United States over the next couple of weeks. There's some women who are not moving permanently. They just don't want to be in the US during the inauguration week, right? I just don't want to have to deal with it, right? Even being able to make that change alone is lowering somebody's blood pressure, right? Somebody maybe is not going to have a health care emergency because she now knows how to get to a place where her blood pressure is lower, where everything is tranquilo. Every time here I apologize for something, they be like, tranquilo. Okay, chill out, lady. Right?
No pasa nada. Okay.
Right? And no problems, okay?
Yeah.
somebody is being able to remove herself from situations that are harmful for her, whether they're long-term or short-term. And that impact is significant. That impact is humongous. And we all make a difference. That's what I love YouTube, right? And I love that you're on YouTube. I love that we have a place now where we can share something, share something with somebody. You don't know who it's going to reach, right? Sometimes there are women who are doing things because of you that they'll never come back and be like, I did this because of you, but they're doing it because of you. And
Yeah.
it's changed their lives and changed their health, changed their family, changed their finances, all of that. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing, and I love being part of it.
I have to say, because, one of the things that I remember Rashida, because, I was posting content, but then I got lazy because I didn't want to have to go back and edit and all that stuff. So, and I think it was like, I want to say it was probably in April after I had moved here, and Rashida was like, girl, just go live. And I was like, I can't do that because, I'd be like him and Han and, again, I'm like squirrel, and I'll talk about something else completely different. And, now I realize that's very endearing.
It absolutely is. Yes. Yes. It helps
It's just
people
my
get to know you.
personality. Yeah. And now, because once I started going live and just talking, and then I was like, maybe I should just go ahead and start interviewing people. I just started interviewing people like, what, beginning of October?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's when I started interviewing people. This was all brand new to me. But the reason that I do it, I don't do it I'm not trying to get Instagram famous or whatever. That's not my goal. If it paid well and stuff, I wouldn't mind it. Don't get me wrong. But my goal is that I want to share, and I want to create something for me that in a few months, come maybe June of this year. Make sure that you do subscribe to my new Facebook group, Black in Zaragoza, so you'll get the latest about when I do plan for the next meetup in Spain, or the all-inclusive event that I'm trying to get together for June. Okay, so there's my little plug. Anyways, okay. But the goal of me doing this was to share and to let other women know that they're not alone.
That's right.
That's the big thing. You're not alone. Your journey may be different. You might have to take some other steps, but there's a map that's out there. It just, maybe there might be a few other directions, or, you might have to take a little, off ramp a little bit and stuff and park for a little bit or whatever it is. Yeah. But it's there. And I'm so thankful that I'm part of this community with Stephanie and Rashida and Adelia and everybody that's out there sharing, and April Thatch. And they're just sharing their experiences, so you know that you're not alone. That's it.
That's right.
And whenever I've had, the women I've had, I want to say total about 13 women that have come through Zaragoza since I've been here.
Wow. You are the ambassador.
I want to say 13 that have come through Zaragoza. And every time they're like, oh man, I didn't know. Yeah, they didn't know. I didn't know. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's why you share. That's why you share. It's amazing what you can do with your YouTube channel, right? It's amazing what kind of impact you can make just by talking, right? Talkers unite. Us talkers are out here really helping people just by doing the thing that that comes naturally. Yeah.
I don't know what your heart in is, so I have like 4 more questions.
Okay. I'm free. I'm a free bird.
Okay, girl. What was that Sunday night? I went live because it's like I have this thing. I went live at midnight on Sunday.
Yeah,
it's midnight my time. It was 5:00 in Texas, and I interviewed the luxury vagabond.
Yeah, Janae.
And we talked for 2 hours and 5 minutes. Okay.
Wow. How did you do that? Without falling asleep? You were nodding out?
No, actually, because it's like, well, yeah, I actually, because I didn't even take a nap that day. But once I started, I was like, well, we're just gonna talk about everything.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I still didn't go to bed for like another hour or so afterwards, because after that, after feeling that pumped up and all that stuff, I'm not just gonna get in bed and start snoring.
No. Okay. It's time to unwind. Yeah. Yeah, I would
Yes.
have been okay at the start of the conversation, but listen, Janae would have had to finish on her, so I'd have been at least stretched out in the bed.
So the goal is that I felt like maybe I wanted to be part of the jumpstart for a woman's upcoming week.
Good.
That
Good.
was my whole reason for doing that and stuff. So I'll continue. Sometimes it might just be a pre-recorded live that's going, but yeah, for the most part.
Good. That's wonderful.
So are there any other like specific platforms or whatever that you've used as a resource for like when you're doing your research for other countries that you might want to go stay in for a while, for a short time, not a long time? Or
So I like to look at the important things before I figure out where I'm going. To me, the important things are the weather and the cost of living, right? What's the weather looking like, and what's the cost of living? I like Nomad List. It's a thing that I pay for, but I think there's a free version to calculate those things. What's the weather? What's the cost of living? And what have people's internet experiences been? What's the internet speed in different parts of town? So I do that kind of research there. Is that what you mean? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I use Nomad List to do that research. I also like Numbeo and the Earth Awaits, and to just plug in some places. Because I house sit so much still, I trusted house sitters, right, to tell me where the good house is at. Where are the houses that look like they have a housekeeper, right? That's my a hot tub or pool, and I want it to look like they have a housekeeper, right? That's a house that I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy staying there. So Trusted House Sitters is another resource. It's another tool that I use to, bop around the world, get some places that I never would have thought about going. It's been great. House sitting's been great,
Yeah. Okay, so when I went to Lisbon a couple of weeks ago, and I was I did a house sit. There was some challenges, but overall it was a great house sit. And I had because I'm a member of Black in Portugal communities, Black in Portugal. And then like 2 weeks before I was leaving, I heard about somebody had told me about Black Americans in Lisbon. I was like, I've never heard of that one. Must join.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called BALE, Black Americans in Lisbon. So I ended up meeting up again, wherever I go, I'm going to find that community. I don't care if I'm there for, a few days or for, for a long time. I'm going to try to find the community that is supportive and kind. And so I met up with they had a standing breakfast on Wednesdays, but there was like vacation holiday going on. So it was just me and this one other lady that was there. But after we sat down, had breakfast, communicated, she was sharing her experience. I was sharing mine about moving to Spain. And then she just took me around and walked me around the neighborhood where she was at. And she was like, now this is like, she had never heard of pet sitting before. So I'm sharing with her about pet sitting. And she's saying, well, if you're going to pet sit, this is the neighborhood right over here where you want to be. Because these are like where the rich people are. Will have great financial resources. I'm like, and I shall mark this down. Thank you. Okay.
That's right. Share that information. Yeah, that's nice. So then, so the meetup was just the two of you, but it ended up being an awesome time.
Yes. And if anybody, has already, well, I'm not going to go back into that whole story, but if you go back to the Lisbon, if you go back to the Lisbon vlog that I did a couple of weeks ago, you hear the whole story about, how these long lost strangers where people had run into each other and they hadn't seen each other since they were like 12 years old. But I'm not going to go into that now. But it was just really great to know, like, this is my first time going to Lisbon by myself. Before I had gone with my daughter twice. So this is my first time by myself, but I already knew. It's like, before I even landed, it's like, okay, I don't know what's going on or what's happening, but I know that I'm going to be connecting with these people at some point. I wasn't dependent on them for my fun, but it helped with, like, like we went to dinner. We went to Rum and Tickles. I think it's Rum and Tickles or something, and pickles, rum and pickles. I'm not sure. Anyways, we went to this really great Jamaican pop-up that I had not even heard of until I was, boots on the ground, walking around and talking to people. And they're like, yeah, they're having a whole pop-up thing. And it was just delicious food. I do want to also say, I don't know if you've joined, have you joined Internations?
No, but it was something, it's a thing that I think about doing and then I just don't do it. I think it would be super helpful. Are you in Internations?
I joined. I like it because I don't know if it's just for, like, I think I paid $75 for the
Huh.
year,
Yeah.
but or 75 euro for the year, but it's like it's for all of Europe. So like they have like events. They were like, there's an event going on in Poland. No, okay,
Ah.
but yeah, they had when I was in Lisbon, they had like for the holidays, they had a whole bunch of stuff going on
Oh,
in
good.
the Lisbon chapter. They have a chapter here in Zaragoza. I went. Very, very nice people. The problem was there was one person that was there that was getting on my ever loving nerves, and I'm just and I was like, "Can you stop talking to me?" Okay.
One bad apple can spoil the whole
Yeah,
bunch.
I was like, now I have well, and well, the other thing with that group is they're very nice. They do some things on the weekend sometimes, but their standing appointment, their standing meetup is on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did do like a pre-record one day, just so that I could actually go. And again, very, very nice. It was cool. Met some wonderful people, but yeah, there was just that one person that was like, I was like, girl, go away. Okay. It was just so bad. She gave me a piece of
You
paper
have to,
and a coin,
you
and she said, "Read it." And because I was like, by that time my patience had run out. Well, not run out. I was still nice, but I lied and said I don't have my glasses
okay.
because I had contacts in, but I just said I don't have my glasses. She's like, "Okay, I'll read it to you."
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be like, I wish I wore a hearing aid so I could turn this thing off. You got to learn how to, just turn your back and talk to somebody else. You think that would have worked? Would it have worked? Just
Oh my
turn,
goodness.
turn to your
Yeah.
neighbor. Aw.
Yeah, but I will go back to some other events. I'm looking forward to it. And also, there's like when I'm going back to Madrid or whatever, I have to remember because there's a group on Facebook for the entire like worldwide
Oh,
organization.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, the website is like not there's just a website, and I just have to remember to go and check it out to see because there was a lot of stuff going on when I was in Lisbon. I was like, I've got to
Okay.
go to these things. Yeah,
Good.
because I
Yeah,
need training.
it's a thing I've thought of. I always think about joining internations. Anytime I see them pop up anywhere, I just haven't done it. It's
Mhm.
not like there's no reason. I just haven't done
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
I like
full
it.
of.
I'm going to make it a point to check out more events
Yeah.
depending on where I'm traveling to. Because I first heard about it back when I was in Texas, back when I lived in Texas years ago.
Mhm.
Some friends and some work buddies, we went out for the happy hour after work drinks, and then like a little while later, like all these people started coming in. We're like, what is going on? And that's when I first heard of Internation. So
Okay.
it's interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting. So I was going to ask you. Well, I think that we've covered this, but I'm going to still, because you might have a different answer. So, like, for maintaining cultural connections,
Mhm.
like, what practices or traditions do you think that women or people need to do in order to open themselves up to making those connections?
Yeah, so I can understand someone who's moving to another country being afraid of like losing or not being able to do the cultural things that are important to her, right? So so you want to make sure that you're holding on to your own culture in your own way while embracing and ingratiating yourself with this new culture, right? So just like having Black friends, so that's why it may seem strange to people when we talk about moving to another place but meeting up with Black women, right? Moving to Colombia but meeting up with Black women in Exodus, or but it's important to hold it's important because you don't want to just strip yourself of your culture, of your, of thing. It's easier when you have some people who get you and who, you can communicate with. You talked about your date. So part of that is making friends with people in your new place who are from the old place in some way. I think that's
Yeah.
important. But then also when you go to a new place, you really have to put an effort in to connect with the new people in the new place, right? The local people in that new place. Some people, white people in general, tend to move to other countries and then just stay with other white people, right? They go to the expat communities and they go to the expat events and they never learn the language and they never make local friends and they stay so separate inside of
Mhm.
another place. That's colonizer activity. And that's not how Black women generally tend to operate, or Black people. And so we talked about doing the things that you like so that you can meet people in that other place. It's a nice icebreaker. Also, being a pet sitter is a nice icebreaker. Having a dog, walking a dog outside, people will talk to you. You will make some friends, even if they really just want to be friends with the dog. They will become friends with you. Having something that's an icebreaker. Animals and kids are really good icebreakers for people in new places who want to make local friends, or who want to make local friends. But also like hobbies, doing the stuff that you're into, doing the stuff that you like, going to events that you want to go to will make it easier for you to be in community with people and to embrace that culture and learn that culture. Right. In Costa Rica, I know I met one Costa Rican friend, and I made her my like help desk. I be like, help me. What does this mean? Or what is happening here? She's very kind and helpful. And she like guided me through like, here's what this means in Costa Rica. Here's what's happening here. Here's how we celebrate this thing. It's really nice to have somebody, have some local friends.
So, yeah, it is. I've made connections. I haven't like found a friend yet, a local friend yet. So, but I haven't like attached myself to anybody in particular yet. So I'm still trying to get more people over. I'm like,
yeah. Well, both, right? They're both things that are super important. It's really important to bring to. I'm trying to recruit some Black women here too, right? It's nice to do that. Right. And we also want to, but you're doing I don't remember what it's called. You already said it. Is it auxiliary, going to the school?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I haven't mentioned it on here. So, yes, that was one of the things that no, girl. It's no secret. Relax.
Okay.
It was something that I didn't think I would qualify to do, but now, I have my work, my visa that says I can work. But yeah, going and working at there's quite a few English language schools, and not just like the public school system, but very focused on the language of learning English. And so there's an opportunity for me to actually teach like 9 hours a week. Mm-hmm. And it's not for the money, it's for the experience and the community and getting to know, and just like being in the community and helping, and because people know my face. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Black person living in this immediate area. Yeah, because there's another area, Delicious in Zaragoza, that is more diverse. I'm just not in that area. Okay. Yeah, because it's like I only wanted to have to take one tram to get around, and Delicious, you have to take a couple of buses, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm.
But that'll bridge, right? That'll help you make some local friends when you start.
Yes.
Yeah, if you do that. Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah. And I still have the goal of going, because my daughter told me about how over in Delicious they have like the really nice gym with all the Black people there. So I'm gonna go over there too. Mm-hmm. Give me a nice Sunday, please, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. I'll teach him English.
Go get him, girl. Go get him. That's the plan.
Chick on a mission sometime. I say this, but I want to know your thoughts on the importance of finding communities and doing your research, finding communities before you make the move, before you leave, before you get on the plane.
Super important. So Yolanda listed off how to find groups of people inside of places. It's super important because some things are so strange in other places and you don't know it. There are places where you, like here in Bogota, when you want to rent an apartment, you need to have someone guarantee, like you need to have a guarantor. And that might sound like somebody's trying to scam you when it's totally normal practice. Some things seem like normal and they're not normal in a new place too, right? You need to be in community with people so you can run some things by them. Like, is this right? Is this normal? Now, it's not only about the loneliness and the community. It's also about like saving you some money, making sure you don't get scammed or took because you don't know how things operate in that place. If all of your friends though are local friends, they may not know the things that you don't know, right? So it's nice to have some friends who are people who have also moved there, what they call expat friends. It's nice to have some expat friends too, because the local people, they know the way things operate, and they may not, if they've never lived anywhere else, they don't know what things are strange or foreign to you.
Yeah.
Right. And then they'll be like, how did you not know that? I just assumed. I never told you this because I just assumed that's how things operated in your world too. So reach out.
Yeah.
So reaching out to those communities can save you a pretty penny. Like seriously, it can save you from being totally scammed. Also, they know, they already have done some vetting. They know a realtor or a doctor or whatever you need. They've done some vetting for you, and you're not going to a place starting from literally zero. It's really stressful. And if part of the reason that you want to live someplace else is to have a more relaxed life, right? To have a better quality of life, that includes reaching out inside of those communities before you go someplace. If you don't know where you're going, you can join a whole bunch of communities in a whole bunch of places, right?
Mm-hmm. And just because you join, like, you know, geez, I know I joined like a good, well, I might be over exaggerating, but I'll say I joined maybe 10 communities before coming here. Do I belong to all of them still? No, I probably belong to like, I don't know, 4 or 5 now. Well,
That's
more than
right.
that. But yeah, just because you join doesn't mean that you know, like there was one particular community here in Spain, like after the elections, that was just, oh, just doing the most. And I was like, okay, goodbye. Oh, okay. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, like, you know, why are you trying to make money off of us? You should just be helping us get out the country for free. It's like, who are you? What? Okay. It was just too much.
Too much. Yeah. Yeah. So you'll find some of them you don't even like them people, right?
Yeah.
Some communities, right? Some online spaces are better than others, or more like a better fit for you than others.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have to try them out, right? Try them out, see what's what, because you're gonna, is like the people inside of those communities are gonna save you so much headache and so much money,
And
right?
use whatever group or community that you join. Use that search feature from your, it's easier from your laptop or whatever stuff, and just put in what you're looking for, because I went to my first doctor's appointment yesterday. Now I had problems because I was trying to find an English speaking doctor here in Zaragoza.
Yeah.
That proved to be a little bit harder.
Okay.
But I had resolved, and I said, well, if I can't, instead of me just finding an English speaking doctor, and that's the qualification, that's it, I decided to go and do my search, because they have like a, what is that? Doctoralia, whatever. It's like a resource so you can find the doctors that you need, and, you know, that accepts your insurance or private pay or whatever. But I decided just to go ahead and do my search in Madrid, because I was like, well, you can go to Madrid and go to the doctor. So I found English speaking doctors, check their reviews. They had some, so I had like maybe about 4 or 5 good options that I felt like really good about. But then, you know, one of them, when I went to set the appointment, I was like, can you confirm that you do speak English? And yeah, 2 came back. It's like, no, not really.
Oh, okay.
No, not really. But I did go to my first doctor's appointment here in Zaragoza today, but I had asked a bunch of questions in the various groups, and, you know, a lot of them were like, no, I really don't. And I think there was one doctor, but then he had some other issues going on. So all that to say, it was an experience. It was a great experience, but then it was just a different experience. So now I'm going to be able to share my experience within the groups and let them know. So this was my experience. I didn't know, like, I went to the doctor, I went to check in, and like not even a minute later, somebody came out and was like, you know, Yolanda? And I was like, yeah, that's me. Okay. And so I go into this office and I'm thinking that they're going to do the blood pressure and all this stuff. And it's like the doctor just sits down with me and we just start talking. And I was like, oh, okay. So you're the doctor. She's like, yeah. Okay.
It's so funny how things work everywhere else but the US, right? Like saying I remember when I had 3 root canals and crowns done in Costa Rica. And when I went into the dentist's office, I'm sitting down like to sit down, and they're like, okay, get up and go into the office now.
Yeah.
It's time to get started. The dentist, here's your dentist, right? Like the person who WhatsApped me once for, I think years ago, not years ago, but during the COVID, when I had COVID in Mexico City, it was the doctor who WhatsApped me, right? To set up my appointment, to get my test scheduled, to do the whatever, to do the follow-up. Like the doctor is the one who actually WhatsApped me, not a third party, not
Yep.
someone else. Right. It's so strange. And that's pretty common in a lot of places, except the United States. Right.
Yeah. The only thing that was just a little bit off for me, and again, I'm not saying that they did anything wrong. In my mind, I guess what I was expecting was again, at no point did she take my blood. She checked used the stethoscope, didn't check the blood pressure, didn't have me get on the scale, nothing. I was like, do you need me to go pee in a cup? And she's like, no. Okay. But they send you out. So like I have to go and get blood work done and all this stuff. And then she'll get the results and then I come back in. But at the time I was like, because, I didn't put on some weight since I got here to Spain because, people like, oh, you're going to lose all the weight from walking. No, you don't. So I was kind of dreading getting on the scale. I brought my own scale from the US. I was like, I only believe my home scale. The one I brought from the US. I don't believe anybody else's scale. They're all lying. So when I went into the doctor's office, into her office, and I saw the scale, and I was like, damn liar. Yeah, she was like, oh, you don't have to get on the scale. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So like in the US, that scale, they put you on a scale to bully you. Right? Like what are you learning?
Yeah.
From putting me on a scale.
I can tell you how much I weigh. It's like, no, we have to and then we have to okay.
Right. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Okay, Picky Girl Travels. Adelia just said, yeah, she uses yeah, that's it, Dr. Adalia. Okay. I'm trying to use my little Spanish twang, and it's like, yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. But it's a great resource. That was a lot easier to use than to go, because I have DKV insurance, private insurance. And yeah, I had called and there was nothing on their site when you're looking for a doctor that says if they speak Spanish, and then just trying to book, it was just a big hassle. Going through that site was so much easier. Absolutely so much easier.
Okay, good. Good resource.
I appreciated that. And and what I was about to say, I'm just going to check on here. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. So Dara, when she was in Madrid and we met up, I was on a pet sit in Madrid. And yeah, we met up, and yeah, she's the art girl. So like she did the Airbnb experiences. Yeah. And I signed up, and we had this nice, wonderful personal guided tour of the wonderful art galleries around the art district in Madrid. It was a beautiful experience. I still have the pictures to draw. Yeah, that was a beautiful experience. Good. Yes. Good. Yeah. It's community. It's all about finding community, because literally Dara and I met in Mexico. The first time we ever met was in Mexico City. That's when Dara and I met, when I was there for 2 months. And then months later, she's like, so I'm here, I'm coming to Spain. And I'm like, okay, then let's meet up. I'm meeting people that I met in another country, and we're meeting up. That's right. Worldwide friendship, worldwide connection. Good. So tell any big plans for have you been to Vietnam before? Yeah. So I was in Vietnam in 2015 when I was on that year, 2015 into 2016, when I was on that year of traveling around at a pretty fast pace. And I really liked who I was in Vietnam. I was a person who got up and rode her bicycle to the Vietnamese coffee shop and drank a little coffee, and then drove to the noodle shop and ate her pho for breakfast and got some clothes made. And so I can't wait to go back and try to find that version of me again, do that kind of stuff again. Live a little bit. Now there's going to be quite a few other women there. I think we might have 80 women from the Exodus Summit community. Oh, I saw that. So yeah, so maybe I may do it more than I did last time. Last time, that's all I did every day, right? That's all I did every day. This time I may actually do more things, but I don't know if I went to any kind of museum or anything. I just ate breakfast, rode my bike, went to the beach, got clothes made, took a nap, go to dinner, right? That was my whole day. Yeah, but don't downplay that, because that's amazing. Just that relaxation, that this is just me living, and it's beautiful. It's just such a beautiful experience. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I felt there. When I was in Puerto Vallarta for a month-long pet sit, and people are like, oh, well, they were like, some of my family and friends were like, well, what about Christmas? What about New Year's Eve? It's like, I'm going to be in Puerto Vallarta. What are you talking about? But also, I was just on this pet sit at this beautiful condo, on the mountainside, facing the entire peninsula of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And I wasn't my exciting time was actually on Saturdays when you go down to the farmers market. That
Yeah.
was exciting
Yes.
to me.
Uh-huh.
That was the coolest thing ever right there.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love that about Mexico. I love that. Yeah. Eat while you're there.
Mhm.
Take home some groceries and take home some jewelry.
Mhm.
I'll be like,
Yeah,
I need this necklace.
girl. Yeah. So yeah, it's like it doesn't have to be the big things. It doesn't have to be big extravagant experiences. It's just those experiences that just make you feel at peace and like this is just beauty. Just seeing the beauty all the way around.
That's right.
So,
That's
so
right. Yeah.
uh, Chessie,
Hi,
I'm,
Jazzy.
girl, I'm like, see, my niece, thank you for introducing me to Zaragoza. Oh, because Zaragoza is flatland. So
Oh,
Zaragoza is
good.
flat,
Okay,
baby. Okay.
good.
Because if you're in Barcelona or if you're in Lisbon,
Mhm.
you can hurt yourself. Okay.
Climbing up them
And be
hills.
out of
It's
breath.
uphill both ways.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So you have the new program. I did want to just touch base and just because you have that new program now, because everybody knows about Exodus Summit
Mhm.
and everybody knows well about the Facebook group and they know about the annual event. But y'all have started something else now to help people, I guess, kind of fast track for the information.
That's
Can you
right. We
share?
started. I sure can. Thank you. We started a membership because Exodus Summit happens in October, and there are some women who don't want to wait until next October to learn how to make their exodus, right? How to plan that exodus. So we started a membership so that you can join, jump in, and jump out as needed. Moving abroad takes answering like 8 questions. Where am I going? What's it cost? Where's that money coming from? What do I do about my people and pets? What do I do about my stuff and my property? What do I do about healthcare? How do I get residency? And then how do I make sure that I make progress and don't let fear take over, right? Those are the basic steps to moving abroad. And inside of Exodus ASAP, our new membership, we help you make progress on each one of those steps. Exodus Summit happens in October, and Yolanda told you that she went to Exodus Summit 2022 and 3 days later quit her job, right? But and we love that. But you don't have to wait until next October to start making your Exodus strategy, right? To get your peace out protocol together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rashida and I get to coach women on their plans in a way that we've never done before. Surprisingly, we've never done this before together. And so you get the coaching, you get the community of the women in the ASAP membership, you get progress so that you don't have to feel like this isn't for me, right? Sometimes I think when women start working, the first question that you have about your move abroad is usually the biggest question, like, how am I gonna make money to go? Or how do I even pick a place to go? Or what do I do about my house or whatever? Usually the first question is the biggest question, and it's the thing that can really stop your progress and like lie to you and tell you, you can't do it. You can't do it because of this thing. So when you get coaching, which is a thing that I've done in my life, when you get coaching from someone, that big thing instead becomes pieces. It becomes a thing, something that you can make progress on. It becomes more bite-sized.
Yeah.
That's why we started Exodus AS.
Manageable and you can actually see it. Like you can, it's not like, because sometimes you think like you have to get this, and again, it just becomes so overwhelming that you're like, I just can't do it. Never mind. Okay.
It feels like too much. And I understand that, especially if one of the reasons that you want to leave, it's one of the reasons that you want to make your exodus is that you're tired. It can feel
Yeah.
like too much to do this. And so you don't have to do it by yourself, right? We love that women come into the membership so that they can get support and also give support, give help to other people as well. Yeah. So
Yes.
Exodus ASAP is at exodusasap.com. Join us. You'll love it. The women inside of the community are Exodus Summit current, like women making progress, and also some Exodus Summit alumni who have made some progress before. And so you'll love it. It's a wonderful space. Just like Yolanda's channel is full of wonderful people and helpful, this is a helpful space. So is the Exodus ASAP community. Yeah, come on and join us. If you're a Black woman who is interested in making your exodus. Yeah.
You don't have to do it alone. You really do not have to do it alone. Because let me tell you something. You try to do it alone and without the resources, you're going to make some mistakes that's going to like really make you feel like it's just impossible. So
Right.
you're still going to make mistakes. Let me just,
Yeah, sure.
mistakes will be made, but you
Yeah,
won't be alone. So you can find your way through it. Yeah. And as I like to say, sometimes you just got to go through it to get to it. And that's what having the community helps you with, to be able to
absolutely.
face
It's absolutely worth the effort, right? It's absolutely worth the effort. If you're a person right now who's thinking like, I got to get out of this country, whether it's forever or for some time, for a few months or whatever, it's worth that effort. It's worth it. So go ahead and get some support so you can go ahead and make the progress. So you can be sitting up here looking good too, right? feeling relaxed and tranquilo, right? And not feeling stressed out and worried and fearful all day, every day, because that's not how we're supposed to live. We're definitely not supposed to live in fight or flight mode all the time. We're not supposed to live in panic and fear mode all the time, and anxious mode. So get yourself to a place where you don't have to live like that anymore. Get yourself somewhere. It might be Europe, it might be the Caribbean, might be South America or Central America, it might be Mexico. Get yourself someplace. Might be Africa. Get yourself, or Asia. Like there's a lot of options.
it.
There's many options.
Yeah.
Get yourself
There's
someplace.
so many options. You just have to kind of sit down and understand, get to know yourself and what you are comfortable with, that things that you can and can't deal with.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to Merida. I'm just not doing it. Okay.
Make you break into a sweat just thinking about that place.
Yeah, so just to know, you get to know yourself and do your own self-assessment to understand what's going to work best for you. And again, there's community all over that can give you some great insight to help you make the best decision that's going to work for you.
That's right. That's right. Your plan, right? You're getting some info when you're in community with other people. You get information, but you use that information to make your plan. You're not copying anybody's plan because nothing. You're different people. Y'all are different people. But that information is priceless. It's really going to save you the money. It's going to save you the stress. It's going to save you the time. Right. It's going to speed things up for you, being in community with people and not trying to do things on your own. Being a person who prides yourself in doing things on your own is praising your dysfunction, right? Absolutely. Because that's dysfunction. That's not how we were made to operate. And it's not how we thrive. You used the word thrive earlier. We do not thrive by doing things on your own. So community is the answer. It's the solution.
And again, so within the Exodus Summit, if you belong to the Exodus Summit community, there, I guess you guys now have the guides tabs, and on there, there's like the resources, and like I said, there's communities around the world, and there's like lists. There's in one section on one of the guides, I forget which number it is, but there's like a whole list. Like if you want to move to Vietnam, or if you want to, wherever you might be wanting to go, there's like what is that? It's like some people that wanted to move to Germany. There are groups and communities that are listed within the Exodus Summit. If you're a Black woman, join if you have not already. And I'm going to list the groups that I mentioned here for Spain. They're going to be in the description. So please do check that out. One being, please do make sure that you check out and come join me on Black in Zaragoza Facebook group. Okay.
Yes.
And yes. Anything else you want to add before I go get me some food?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for your patience with me. I'm late for a lot of things all the time, but thank you for your patience with me. But most importantly, thank you for being such a wonderful member of this community. You're awesome. You're so helpful. You're so kind. You're so thoughtful. You're so fun. So thank you for that, Yolanda. Thank you for being you, and thank you for sharing. It's sharing so openly. We appreciate you so much, and we love you so much. Thank you.
Y'all take care. I'll see you Sunday.